Hey everyone, Ronnie Rowe back again this week for another YouTube of Ronnie Rowe Designs. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you back again. It's been several weeks, 3 weeks since I did the last video, and I told all of you it's going to be a while. We're in the summer months. Not a lot going on as far as cross stitch. Well, it is a lot going on in cross stitch, but other things too, where we can get outside and do some things. But anyway, I'm very happy to be back with you this evening and to share a few things with you of what I've been doing, some design I've been doing, some what projects I've been working on, and what's coming up in the future. So, but anyway, before we get started, I'd like to remind you to hit the little subscribe button. Really appreciate that. That will help me out a whole lot. I don't know if it'll help you, but it'll help me. But so anyway, it'll get you a notification when I have a video coming out. So anyway, uh, what's going on? First of all, hope each and every one of you are having a great summer. It's hot. It's been a tad warm, and if you're in Phoenix area in the Southwest United States, it's a tad warm. We haven't had it bad where I am right now. I'm in the eastern part of Virginia, and so our weather has been pretty good. We get some thunderstorms in the evening, but nothing severe right as of now. The only thing we're looking have to watch out for in the coming months are obviously hurricanes. We're in that getting into that time of year where they can develop, and so we're in the path of some of those if they God forbid. So that's where we are. But anyway, been getting outside, doing a lot of gardening, doing a lot of crabbing, a lot of other things going on, and so really been enjoying that, and hope you've been able to do that also. What I do have with me this week is my teleprompter. I've got that back, and as you can see, I've got a few things written down. Not a teleprompter, you know that it's a piece of paper, but anyway, I call it a teleprompter. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about stitching, what I've been stitching with, what I've been designing. I've been doing some personal designing. I've told you before, I've got some family members with small children, everything. I'm working on some of those. I did start on some of that. I did get a new order for a custom design from a lady. And so anyway, we've been back and forth on that. So it looks like that's going to come about. And I think what I've sent her so far, she's really going to like. And when I do this, I will share it with all of you. Redesigning some charts. That's one of the main things. That's a big thing I've been doing. I got an order probably right after the last time we got together. And she ordered a lot of my older black and whites, what I call black and whites, and just a black thread on white material. And she ordered two in Pacific, the Colonial Smokehouse and the Christopher Wren building. And they've been out a long time, a while, and I've got the designs and really haven't pulled them out in a while because I really haven't gotten a lot of orders from them. But that lady did order them, and when I took a look at them, it was a long time ago, and the legibility, they were legible, but the symbols, the one symbol, the color X I put in it for the black, it's kind of small. So what I've been doing with a lot of those older patterns is I've been redoing them, making more sheets in them so they're more visible and easier to read. And so that's taking up some of my time. I thought it'd be a good thing to do. I did it for all of the 3 ships I did. I finished all of those. I finished a lot, some earlier on this year with the Williamsburg series. And so I'm doing those. And so that's a project. It's an ongoing project. And once I get these finished, the lady that did order those charts, I'll send her the new charts, new pages, inserts, if you will, so that she can be a little bit more legible for her. So anyway, been working on that. Did get a chance last night, had a long conversation with Stitching with Julie last night. We Zoomed last night and talked, and we talked about a lot of things. We talked about upcoming shows, particularly the Needlework Market Show coming up in March of next year in 2024. And she's still undetermined, I think, if she's going. I'm probably not going to go, but she did give me a list of other shows. And one that really struck me interesting is they've got this huge big show in London, England. And so I looked at it, and so talked to my wife about it. And so I don't know if I'll do it, but anyway, it's really intriguing. I think that would be a lot of fun to go, because we do have a lot of following in England of my designs with the colonial aspect. And so I think that would be very interesting. So we did talk about that. We talked about what we're doing in the business, how we can improve business, or basically how to improve to get you to buy more charts. That's what business talks about. We talked about that and our plans for the future and what we're going to do. And I think she's going to continue on with her design work. And what I'm doing is I am looking for new ideas of what I would like to be doing, and something that's going to interest me. And so that has always been a problem for me, is to be able to come up with something that I'm interested in. I think maybe you'd be interested in, and I've always struggled with that, but been able to always come up with something at least I was interested in. But anyway, that's what we discussed. But we did have a great conversation. It's always good to see Julie. She's a great gal. She even mentioned last night going to Nashville that she's a new person there, and relatively so. She really is. She's been doing this for a couple of years now, 2 or 3 years. So I've been doing it for 40, going on 43 years. So it's a little bit different there. But anyway, she's very, very talented. And again, I'm always thrilled to be able to sit down and have a conversation with Julie. That's just a real treat for me. What are we going to discuss tonight? What I want to show you tonight is several things. I'm going to get to the design that I am stitching right now, Orleans. That's the one I showed you the last video I did. I made some headway on that. I'm still kind of struggling with the bottom of this thing, how I want to do it. And I think I've got it now with some trees on a sidewalk and the way I want to show the shadowing. But you'll see that in a little bit. But before we get there, as I told you last week, I'd like to go back and show you several of my pictures that I have done in the past. And I picked these in particular because a friend of mine bought a picture from me who lives in North Carolina, Jane Smith. I'll give you her name. So she lives in the same town my wife was from, and she had been coming up here for years, going to a needlework shop in Colonial Williamsburg called Haas Troll, and out of business now, unfortunately, but a wonderful shop. And she'd seen some of my work displayed there. And but anyway, recently bought one of these pictures, and what she bought was one called the Stitchery, and it's a same size as what I'm going to show you now. So that's why I'm going to show you these. It's because I pulled these out, and they were all framed basically the same. And so anyway, I want to show you this, and we'll start off with, and they're on the glass, so I apologize for that. This is one along with the stitchery I did. I called Colonial Woodshed, Williamsburg, Virginia, if you can see that. This was one I did along with the Williamsburg series, and hold that so you can see that. And it's Williamsburg, Virginia, Colonial Woodshed. And this is just a outbuilding, if you will, that I put some trees and shrubs around at the time. It's a smaller design. It's not really that big or difficult to do. And that's all of these are out on the website. And if you'll look at the frame right here on this and the other three that I'm going to show you, this frame, I didn't build these frames and everything. I bought these frames from Costco. years ago when I did this, Costco had these frames, all wood, beautiful, beautiful frames and everything that actually fit what I was doing. And they had a three of these frames with a mat board, if you can see that, the mat board along with the frame and the glass. I think it was something like $19 for three of them. I mean, they were fantastic. I mean, so I bought a whole bunch of these frames, and so did a lot of these type of smaller designs. Somebody's calling on the phone. Ah, that's my sister-in-law. We don't care about that. But anyway, this is colonial woodshed I had, and this is one of them. The other one I'd like to show you, this is a Williamsburg scene of, I call it Duke of Gloucester Street, going down the colonial area. Duke of Gloucester Street is an old home down there. And so tried to get some perspective on this. And these were put out a long time ago when I was in the midst of my Williamsburg type things I was doing. And so this I thought was an interesting design with the color of the trees. The same size that we're talking as the colonial woodshed, and again with the same frame that I got from Costco. The other one, another one I did was Dutch door shed, and that wasn't Williamsburg, but this was one that I just colored up this shed, and I thought that thing really turned out well with all the colors on it with the shed. So collage of various things. So I really enjoyed that. And again, same frame. The next one, and this one is interesting because this one is the powder magazine in Colonial Williamsburg with a cannon in front of it. And what's interesting about this, years ago, Just Cross Stitch magazine would do a article about any designer that would give them a design to put in their magazine. And so this is the one that I had, and I gave this design to Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is years ago. I should have got the magazine out. I got it somewhere, and they did a big article on me, and I gave them the design, and they printed the design in the magazine. And so that was a big hit at the time. A lot of folks enjoyed that, getting the magazine, having a design. But anyway, that is the magazine in Colonial Williamsburg that I put a cannon in front of that did show up in Just Cross Stitch magazine back in the day. So again, this is in the same frame, but I wanted to show you these four designs right now. These are all DMC, straight stitching, no half stitches or anything like that, and very, very easy to do. So but if you can check, you can go to SD and check all of these out, or go to my website, ronnierowedesigns.com, and check them out also. But anyway, these I wanted to pull out and show you tonight, those four designs that I've been doing. Anyway, do want to thank Jane Smith for buying that picture, and I hope she really enjoys it. I got a really nice note from her. She had done a lot of needlework over the years, and this is the second one that she has purchased, or one of mine she wanted that I had stitched, an original of mine. So, but anyway, I hope Jane really enjoys that a whole lot. So now Orleans is a picture that I started. I told you some time ago that's going to take a long time, and it is still taking a long time. It will be into the fall before I finish this and have it framed. But I have made significant progress on this since the last time we talked. And it's got 5 colors in it, black being one of them, and then going to a 762, the real light gray, and the 3 in the middle are between the light gray and the black. I found it interesting because it's going to have a lot of ironwork in it. It's going to have a lot of detail to this. It's I'm not going to say it's easy stitching. It's not hard stitching. It's all just X's, but It's big, and this is one of the larger designs that I do, like some of the big ones I've done in the past. And I don't know why I just got that urge to do another one of those. And so, but anyway, I've got it on the foam board like we always do to show you. And hopefully you can get some idea about where I'm going. Let me get my hand off that. Where I'm going with Orleans. That is the stitching that I have done so far. And what we've got on this side right here, we've got a building coming down, and this is the top of a big iron gate. It's going to come down to a street level, and you're going to be looking down. You're going to be looking down the street when we get down, because you can see there's a lot more to go. Anyway, it's interesting. I thought it's going to be an interesting design, and again, this has got the five colors in it. It's hard to see here, I know, on this with my camera, but that's where I am stitching, and I stitch from the upper left hand corner going right and working that area. And so right now, this evening, I just completed this section right in here. So tomorrow I'll be doing 10 by the 6. I'll have 600 squares down here, 10 by 6, and 600. So anyway, this is going to be, and best I can estimate with the programs I've used and everything, this is going to be roughly around, best I can tell, 70,000 stitches. This is going to be, it's a lot of stitching. And so hopefully if you do one of these days get this, don't get bored with it. I'm not bored with it. I don't ever, one thing I do is I never give up. I never give up. When I start one, I'm going to finish it. And that's why to me, it's so important that when I do something, I have to do something that interests me, because I don't want to lose that, I don't know, the lack of better words, enthusiasm of keep going with something. And I think a lot of people start stuff if they're not interested in it and have a tendency to put it down and possibly never pick it up again. But anyway, that is Orleans, and that's what I'm working on, and I will continue working on for a while. And when we get together again, I'll show you my progress there. Now back to my teleprompter. Continue with that. I got thinking, I've been using white material. I had a white 18 count material that I get from nice folks at Witchell Imports, and they give me that material. And I was thinking about in the future, should I go my next one with a different color scheme, with a different background color material, if you will, and change up some threads instead of DMC, maybe put some Krennic in it or something else, and do something like that. I'm not sure if I want to. I did use Krennic blending filament years ago on some of my original Williamsburg designs, and it turned out well. I put it in some trees and along some edges and everything of the design, and I thought it turned out really well. And I got that Krennic. I got it from Jerry. I talked to at a market years ago to Jerry Krennic, who son Doug now runs the company, his dad. And he was nice enough to give me a lot of that stuff, and used it at that time. But I haven't in quite a few years now been doing anything with blending filament, but I might go back to that. That's about it for this week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, ever how long it's been. I hope each and every one of you are healthy. I hope you think, what else have I been? Oh, yesterday was the wife's birthday, and so we went out and celebrated at a meal last night, and went to a concert down at Yorktown, Virginia, along the river. They have these great summer concert series, and so we went to dinner and went down there, put the lawn chairs down, and sit there and watch a great band they had, the DeLoreans, who were fantastic. And so we saw those last night, and they played. That was about it for that. And not much more going on except the normal things. And But I hope each and every one of you are doing well. I hope each and every, like I said, have a great summer. And nothing more going on here right now. If I think of anything, I'll write it on my teleprompter for next time. As you can see, I still haven't done anything with the background. I know Julie's got shelves and sparkles, and man, looks it's production. It looks great. And here I am with, this is what you get. My wife is still complaining about it, but I don't really care. So this is it. I don't think you really care about my background. This is where I work. This is all my stuff that you see around here. This is Ronnie Rowe Designs. This is not some 100,000 square foot big building with various offices and departments, marketing departments, or anything like that. It's just me sitting here with this background. So, but anyway, until next time, as I tell you, every time we get together, do me one favor and have a great summer. But number one thing is be safe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.